Welcome everybody to look at another Radiance Films release, and this is 1954's Senso. So this is directed by Luchino Visconti, who I've not seen a other main feature film from before, but I did see The Witches from 1967, and he did one of the stories in that anthology film called The Witch Burned Alive. To be honest, the film itself isn't particularly great, but his part in it is a reason for it not being as great as it is. It was a little bit disappointing, to be honest. But nonetheless, this is a historical melodrama, and depending on which version you watch, it's either 123 minutes or 121 minutes long. And it stars Alida Valli, who was also in the likes of The Third Man, Eyes Without a Face, and The Antichrist, as well as Farley Granger, who was in Rope, They Live by Night, and Strangers on a Train. Three fantastic films. So, on the eve of the Third Italian War of Independence, Countess Livia Sapereri anxiously conspires to make revolution happen. Following a chance encounter at the opera, she begins an affair with Franz Mahler, a charismatic lieutenant in the occupying Austrian army who sent her rebellious cousin into exile. As her feelings for Franz intensify, Livia's moral compass wavers. So, although I find the conclusion to this comes across as a little bit rushed, this is nonetheless a highly engaging effort, thanks in no small part to the great lead performance from Alida Valli. The rest of the cast is also really good. It looks superb due to the cinematography and the lush production. The pacing is on point, the score is great, the romance aspect is convincing, as is the period detail, and it is an engaging effort throughout as well. So, yeah, solid 4 out of 5 from me. I was on the verge of loving it even more, but I found as the final act started, it did feel like it was trying to hurry itself along a little bit, which was a little bit, annoying because I felt like I could have easily sat in this film for another 10, 20 minutes easily, especially to make that final act flesh out a little bit more. So, yeah, we actually have three versions of this film in this release, two different aspect ratios and two different language versions as well. So we have the film in the 166 to 1 aspect ratio. Now that's in Italian only. And then we have the 137 to 1 aspect ratio, which is in Italian and English. And that disc also has the special features on it as well. We also have reversible sleeve artwork with this as well on top of that, which I kind of prefer, to be honest. I like the fact it looks more like a painting, and the vivid red really helps it stand out. Um, and then we also have a booklet with this release, which has shots from the film within. So Venice looks absolutely gorgeous in this film. It is set on location in Venice, so it should do. And inside we've got cast and crew. Then we've got Between Life and Theatre, Lucino Visconti's Senso by Christina Newland. Then we've got Tennessee Williams, Collaborative Dialogue, and The Wanton Countess from 2025 by Paul Martinovic. And then we've got transfer notes and credits. So, yeah. Now, this film, like I said, has two different versions. So the English version was actually had dialogue written for it by Tennessee Williams. It is the slightly shorter version at 121 minutes long. And the aspect ratio, so if you don't know what the aspect ratio is for, say, 166 to 1 is, very tall, slight black bars down the side, and then 137 to 1, same height, but even slightly thicker bars on the side as well. I personally prefer the 166 to 1, but I can see why some people might like the 137 to 1 as well. So the restoration of Senso was funded by Studio Canal, Centro Sperimentale di Cinematografia, Cineteca Nazionale, Cineteca di Bologna L'Immagine Ritrovata, in collaboration with Gucci, the Film Foundation, and Comitato Italia 150, and realised thanks to the joined work of Cineteca, well, those ones that I just mentioned, and the advice of Giuseppe Rotuno and Piero Tosi. Starting from the work already done by Giuseppe Rotuno, who began the restoration of the film in 1994, the Technicolor printing negatives held by Cristaldi Film were recovered and restored with digital reconstruction of colour due to shrinkage and colour decay in the materials. Additional colour correction was performed by Radiance Films in 2025, utilising 3 print sources, 2 Italian and 1 British, for reference. There remains a debate over the original theatrical aspect ratio for Senso, since the film historically has mostly been presented in 137 to 1, And as this is how it was also restored as supervised by the filmmakers, we've kept this ratio for main presentation. However, given the composition's obvious suitability for 1:6:1, particularly by the letterboxing of the film's closing credits, we have also presented in the film in this wider ratio as an option for the viewer. The English audio was transferred by Radiance Films at Cineteca de Bologna from a 35mm acetate soundtrack negative in 2025. So obviously a lot of work has gone into this. To be restoring it for 31 years is obviously quite an ordeal. So yeah, but on the whole, it has come off looking absolutely superb, quite frankly. And yeah, I do highly, highly recommend just viewing this just for a piece of art. Never mind whether or not you're going to enjoy it. So yeah, Martin Scorsese also helped work on this as well in terms of getting it restored. So you got original uncompressed PCM mono audio as well. It was a 2K restoration, by the way, if you're wondering. And yeah, we've got Luchino Visconti, Carlo Lizani's documentary on Visconti's life and career features contributions from Claudio Cardinale, Burt Lancaster, and Francesco Rossi, and more. That's from 1999. That clocks in at 61 minutes long. Then you got an archival program with Visconti and Maria Callas in discussion about Senso and opera from 1969. That clocks in at 23 minutes long. Obviously, we recently had a film about Maria Callas called Maria with Angelina Jolie. So it's a little bit weird that we're getting this and that quite close together. Then we've got a new interview with critic and fashion historian Matteo Ugiello. Yeah, that's 2025, clocking in at 19 minutes long. And then we've got a stills gallery as well as the new artwork that's been commissioned by Time Tomorrow. One issue with the bold red is that the black, for me, with my eyes, is a bit hard to read, so do apologise for that. But still, yeah, really, really great film, to be honest. It's just a shame that the final act feels a little bit rushed. If it gave a bit more time to that final act, either by lengthening the film or cutting some elements out beforehand, it would be a lot better. But as it is, it's still a really rather great film. Just a shame it's not that a little bit better, because for the most part, for the first 100 minutes at least, I was really enjoying it. It's just that final act that just let it down ever so slightly. But still, well worth seeing, especially as obviously a lot of work has gone into the restoration of the film, and that in and of itself is well worth of respect. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you have seen the film before, that, to your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.